I'm greatly honored to be invited to give this award for the best original song tonight. And much as I love doing it, I wasn't the first choice.
Meet Mick JAgger. He is 83 years old and covers approximately 12 miles of movement during a single Rolling Stones concert, the equivalent of running a half marathon while singing live for 2 hours straight. His personal trainer has described his training regime as brutal and very intense. JAgger himself has called it training for stamina rather than going crazy. In this video, we are going inside the exact training routine that makes those concerts possible, every session broken down, why he does ballet twice a week, what his trainer changes every single week and why, and the one training principle his coach says is the real reason JAgger can still do this at 83. And if you stay until the end, we have a free bonus waiting for you. The question that everyone who watches him eventually asks is the same one: how? His trainer Torje Eike, a Norwegian fitness expert who has worked with JAgger for over a decade, has given the most honest answer available. Mick wants to be able to perform at the same level as he did 20 or 30 years ago. This desire drives him to run, jump, and dance on stage for 2.5 hours without fatigue. The training exists to serve the performance. Everything in his program is built around one goal: being stage ready for every show on a world tour at 83 years old. And what that requires is more than most professional athletes are willing to do. Before we get into the specific sessions, you need to understand the principle that Torje Eike applies to JAgger's program and why it works differently from how most men approach fitness. Eike changes the program every single week, not occasionally, every week. The sessions shift in content, intensity, and emphasis depending on where JAgger is in his touring cycle, how his joints are responding, and what physical demands are coming up. There is no fixed routine that never changes. There is a framework of disciplines: running, swimming, cycling, kickboxing, ballet, Pilates, yoga, and strength training, and within that framework, the specific sessions rotate constantly to prevent burnout, protect joint health, and maintain the motivation that sustains decades of training rather than months. JAgger himself has described his approach in his own words: "I train 5 or 6 days a week, but I don't go crazy. I'm training for stamina." That last sentence is the key. Stamina, not size; endurance, not aesthetics. Every session in his program serves the purpose of keeping a man capable of performing at elite athletic levels for 2 hours at a time. That is a completely different goal from the one most men bring to the gym, and it produces a completely different result. Mick JAgger's weekly training routine. JAgger trains 5 to 6 days per week for sessions lasting up to 3 hours. The specific content rotates weekly under Torje Eike's direction, but the disciplines that appear consistently across every training week are as follows. Running. Running is the cardiovascular foundation of JAgger's program and the most direct preparation for the continuous movement demands of a concert. He runs up to 8 miles per day during intensive training camps and maintains regular running sessions throughout the touring year at lower volumes. This is not jogging. These are genuine running sessions at a pace that builds the aerobic base required to sustain 2 hours of non-stop physical performance. For a man whose concerts are essentially endurance athletic events with singing, the running base is non-negotiable. Sprinting. Alongside steady-state running, JAgger incorporates sprint sessions that develop the explosive power needed for the sudden acceleration and high-intensity movement bursts that characterize his stage performance. Sprints at 100 meters, performed at genuine speed, build the fast-twitch muscle capacity and cardiovascular burst capability that long, slow running alone cannot produce. His trainer has confirmed sprints as a consistent element of his program for decades. Swimming. Low-impact, full-body cardiovascular conditioning that develops the lung capacity and endurance JAgger needs for singing live while moving continuously. Swimming is also one of the most joint-friendly forms of cardio available, making it a critical tool for a man who has been performing high-impact physical activity for 60 years. He swims regularly throughout the training week, particularly during periods when joint protection is a priority. Cycling. Extended cycling sessions build leg endurance specifically and cardiovascular base generally without the impact loading of running. JAgger's trainer has described him cycling for hours at conversation pace during aerobic base building phases, developing the sustained aerobic capacity that supports the entire cardiovascular system rather than just the muscles. During training camps, he sometimes cycles for hours in a single session. Kickboxing. Kickboxing is one of the most demanding full-body conditioning methods available, combining cardiovascular endurance, explosive power, coordination, and core stability in a format that also develops the agility and fast movement capability Jagger deploys on stage. Sessions run approximately 45 minutes and are structured around combinations, pad work, and continuous movement rather than technique development, using the sport as an athletic conditioning tool rather than a martial arts pursuit.
And also, Mick Jagger works out every single day. He has 2 trailers filled with gym equipment.
Ballet. This is the part of Jagger's training that surprises people most. He has been doing ballet sessions twice a week for decades, and the reason is not what most people expect. Ballet builds the specific balance, proprioception, and lower body coordination that prevents falls and injuries on a stage where he is moving continuously for 2 hours. It also develops the hip mobility, ankle stability, and spatial awareness that make the dance movements he performs possible at 83. His trainer has described ballet as one of the most important sessions in the week precisely because its benefits are invisible until the moment they prevent an injury or make a movement possible that would otherwise not be. Pilates. Core strength and spinal stability are the foundation of every physical movement Jagger makes on stage, and Pilates targets both directly. His Pilates sessions emphasize the deep stabilizer muscles of the core and pelvis that support the spine through 6 decades of high-impact performance. Strong, deep core muscles prevent the back pain that affects most men his age and make the full range of his stage movement possible without injury risk. Yoga and meditation. Jagger has described yoga and meditation as daily practices rather than occasional additions to his program. Yoga maintains the full body flexibility and joint range of motion that every other training discipline demands, and meditation provides the breath control and stress regulation that singing live for 2 hours requires at a physiological level. His coach has confirmed that recovery is built into every week through stretching, low-intensity mobility work, and frequent physiotherapy sessions. Strength training. Jagger's strength work is not bodybuilding. It is functional strength maintenance. His confirmed exercises include bench press, shoulder press, tricep extensions, dumbbell flies, concentration curls, medicine ball twists, incline bench with dumbbells, and kettlebell shrugs, all performed at moderate weight with an emphasis on maintaining the muscle mass and upper body strength needed for his performance demands rather than building size. Sets and reps rotate weekly under Ike's direction. Dance rehearsal. The most specific preparation element in his program. Dance rehearsal sessions are direct practice for what he does on stage, running the choreography and movement patterns of the show at full intensity to maintain the specific movement vocabulary and physical conditioning the performance requires. 2 rehearsal sessions per week keep the body adapted to the exact demands of touring rather than general fitness demands. The principles behind Jagger's training are directly applicable to any man, regardless of whether he is preparing for a world tour or simply trying to maintain his health and physical capability into his 60s, 70s, and beyond. Variety prevents burnout and protects joints. The weekly rotation of disciplines means no single movement pattern is overloaded, which is the primary cause of overuse injury in older men who repeat the same training too frequently. Stamina as the goal changes everything. Training for the ability to sustain physical performance over time produces a different and generally more functional result than training for appearance. The body Jagger carries at 83 is the byproduct of training for stamina, not the objective of it. Recovery is non-negotiable. Ike builds stretching, low-intensity mobility work, and physiotherapy into every week. For men over 50 whose recovery capacity is naturally slower than it was at 30, deliberate recovery built into the program is as important as the training itself. Consistency over decades beats intensity over months. Jagger has been training this way for over 60 years. The compound effect of daily movement and consistent physical discipline across decades produces outcomes that no short-term program can replicate. If you found this information helpful, we have fantastic news for you. We're thrilled to announce that our requested ebook 8-Minute Fitness at 50+ is now here, with over 1,000 5-star reviews from men just like you. This comprehensive fitness guide is especially curated for individuals over the age of 50 who are committed to leading a healthy and active lifestyle. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching.